But we are now, at the time I'm teaching, coming out of the China virus and its crises, its pandemic crises that touched the globe. Yesterday, first time in history, oil traded at a minus number, an incredibly large minus number per barrel. In that, at one point, I saw that they, in other words, we'll pay you $40 per barrel to take it. Unprecedented, and no one saw this coming. We knew other economic factors were, of course, because of the virus. Other economic factors, certainly, we can see markets plummeting, businesses closing. Consumerism challenged. But the point I'm making is we didn't see it coming. And so now we have a whole group of people who have prophetic tendencies looking back at what they heard and what they prophesied and what they recorded months ago, and looking through their prophetic words to find that they did see something coming. One prophet said, I saw a cloud approaching. And he said, and because of the cloud, we would have troubled times. Well, that's a very general prophetic word, but at the time that he was prophesying it, because I was there, nobody, including him, saw in the interpretation the need to pray more, discover more, ask for more information. In other words, in a prophetic word about the new era and how God's glory was going to be manifested, there was not that much of an indication that anything like a global pandemic was going to occur. Now, to me, I would say, first of all, that does not mean that someone did a poor job of interpretation. But on the other hand, I would say we didn't interpret at all. We didn't look at the prophetic word as a, what do we do now? Because, even if we take all of the prophetic word in terms of glory, and God manifesting his glory, if we were to follow prophetic process, we would come to an application in which we said we need to train God's people to function in glory and prepare them how do you live, how do you act when glory is being manifested and its power being demonstrated. What can we do to train people? What can we do to prepare them so the right protocols for glory are followed? Now, having been involved in situations where overshadowing glory, manifested glory, demonstrated glory are common, I've learned in the last 15, 20 years, 25 years ago in Brownsville, there was an overshadowing glory. But then in other nations, particularly Brazil and sometimes in Africa, when we have overshadowing glory, there are protocols. And there are principles and processes and protocols of the kingdom when the king manifests glory that need to be followed, and they need to be taught. And that's why God has leaders. So, and the part of the purpose of prophecy, obviously, in order to have prophetic leadership that accurately anticipates what's coming next and prepares the Lord of people who are ready to respond when that season arrives, then prophetic process should have indicated to blueprint leaders like apostles and prophets who are leaders, hey, glory's coming and this is what we need to do about it. But we didn't even carry interpretation on to application. So now what we're doing is looking back, hoping to find out that God actually said something. And but again, all we're showing is that we don't follow prophetic process. Here's the, coming here to this point. We are revealing that even though we have had amazing prophetic revelation available by prophets and apostles in this apostolic and prophetic restoration, we have not matured to the point where we use the revelation the way God intends, because it is not revelation for us just to be aware of something, but rather to prepare for something. And this is a point we have missed. And this is going to be the focus of Prophetic Process, Part 7. So I encourage you to listen to this when it comes out soon. I'm Dr. Don Lynch.